serious answer, I think the key is one is constant challenging yourself. You know, every record we make a real effort to figure out what we did and didn't like about our last record and fix the mistakes and there's a constant breaking of bones and resetting them. It's kind of happened on every record. And our last record, Easy Wonderful, was our 6th album, and there's not a whole hell of a lot that's similar between our first album and our 6th album. There's certain, like, they're pop songs and there's a certain melodic sensibility, but other than that, it's a very, something we really tried hard to do is challenge ourselves to be smarter and better another part of it is probably communicating as much as and that's why we're still there.
I think that's partly why we're still there. We still like making music together. We still feel like we're getting better. And
what the hell else are we doing?
At this point on my resume, I've got lifeguard, camp counselor, and guitar guy.
Captain Planet.
Mistrust and regret, courageous, just like the captain, marching forward with no doubt in his head.
We have a lot of friends who are video oriented and artistic, creative, and we tapped a lot of them to make videos on the cheap for us. But we also kind of realized that the future of listening to music is also kind of putting a play arrow and watching music. So it made sense to have actual official videos for every song rather than just a still shot of your album cover with just music playing behind it.
If you're lucky, you're usually in some girl having like buttons for singles playing.
That would be cool though.
What do we think of that?
That'll be for the next album.
Next video. I like to say we invented DIY.
I like to say we invented
I would like to say that.
We have a lawsuit, we can't talk about it on camera.
I didn't let you ask it. Was there a question?
Yeah.
No, I didn't answer.
I want to cement our legacy as the godfathers of DIY, but I think
that's not
I
true.
think that is not true, and I think that some bands in the 80s would probably get pretty mad at
There we
us.
go, super
Like
pissed.
Black Flag would be pissed at Guster. We took that.
Let's take that beat public.
Black Flag, you're a bunch of wankers.
No, I guess
Hear that, Rollins? We're coming after you. It was definitely out of necessity. I mean, literally what happened is we made our first record and we got it from a big producer in Boston. We gave it to the biggest manager in Boston where we were. And he's like, all right, let me see what I can do. And he played it for a few of his friends and they were like, they like it, but they want to hear your next record. And we were like, wait, we just spent 2 years writing these songs, every dime we had, and 3 months making the record. And so we were like, we can't just let it sit here. It really just happened out of necessity. But somebody called and said, hey, I really like your band. I live in Ohio. We're like, cool, dude. Here's 20 CDs and a T-shirt. And then when we come, why don't you give it to all your friends and we'll come play in your town? And it kind of like, we started this rep program like that. And all this stuff wasn't like, it wasn't this idea that we were like a bunch of marketing guys sort of figuring it out. It's like we had our music and none of these normal channels were available to us. So we kind of just were like, well, how do we do this? How do we? And that's how we started touring all the time. It wasn't because we wanted to tour. Eventually we did. It was because that was the only way we could get our music out. So it was really based out of necessity, and then the idea of like, you know, keeping a road journal and keeping these like sort of breaking down the wall of our fans just felt really natural.
Yeah, we're
because
not
we weren't, that's, you know, this is who we are on stage. And it ended up serving our career, but it wasn't coming from this weird marketing angle, like, oh, we're going to be the cool, accessible band, versus we couldn't do anything else ever. We just have no other. This is our personality.
Thank you, Utah! Thanks again, everybody. That was a lot of fun. We'll see you another time.